Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julia Janae here along with Matt Johnson, who's filling in for Ted Rollins. Thank you so much for following along with us. We are bringing you testimony today in Idaho versus Daniel Howard. The prosecution in that case, they claim that Howard killed his wife and then staged the scene to look like a suicide. But Howard says it actually was a suicide and that he found his wife dead in the bathtub with a gunshot wound to her head. Now, testimony in this trial resumed today after over the weekend, Howard was arrested at the Spokane International Airport on Friday night.
We are also following two major hearings today in Delphi, Indiana for Delphi murder suspect Richard Allen. Judge Fran Gull will decide whether prosecutors can add charges against Allen and if the defense attorneys will be held in contempt of court. No cameras in that courtroom, but Court TV will bring you updates throughout the day. Now
let's get you back into court right where we left off for the cross-examination of a private investigator for the defense, Chet Gilmore.
How many years have you been working on this case?
3 years.
Okay. And was your flat fee $10,000?
And I need to make a correction. When I first started on the case, there was an hourly fee. And I believe for that first section of investigation, I think it was $1,600 maybe, I believe. And then you approached me for a flat fee for just the remainder of everything that might need to be done during the course of investigation, and that was the $10,000.
Okay. No further questions, Sean.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank
you. And that's it for defense. Witness number 9, Chet Gilmore, who is a private investigator for the defense. Let's bring in our guest who is standing by. Joining us now, National Trial Attorney Michael Jaafar. Michael, thanks so much for being on with us. So we've got a private investigator for the defense, and you heard there at the end that question about his fees, $1,600 an hour fee, $10,000 retainer. How do juries look at costs so when it comes to someone getting paid what could be substantial to these jurors in terms of the fee? You know, it always seems to come out at the end, but do you think it has any impact, or do jurors understand that things are going to cost money?
Yeah, it always has an impact. So obviously jurors weigh credibility, they weigh right and wrong, they weigh the credibility of various witnesses, and as a human being, you're always going to look at somebody who's a hired gun with somewhat of a grain of salt. Not entirely, right? Like the subject matter that they're testifying to still matters a lot. But you're going to look at a hired gun differently than somebody who's, like, let's say a witness who had an excited utterance and was subpoenaed to court, and they were there at the scene of the crime. Those are the real witnesses. Those are the witnesses that really sway juries when they're available. In this case, obviously, they're not available. But a hired gun, you're always going to look at kind of with a grain of salt. It's kind of like what you would do with the state examiners. In this case, obviously, he had an excellent expert, which is the state's examiner, was before this expert, obviously. But this expert here, you know, came off a little bit tame, and, you know, he's paid to go up there. So it has some weight, but it's not a ton.
Yeah, we'll see who comes up next. Thanks, Michael, for that, because we got another expert, another hired gun that is coming up next.
And this expert is supposed to be talking about, you know, injuries to the human body. So will this move the needle for that defense? You're watching Court TV, your front row seat to justice. National Trial Attorney Michael Jaafar, you know, my big question, especially when you see those graphs up on the monitors there, you know, are they relatable to this jury? What do you think, Michael? Is he really speaking in layman's terms to the everyday folk?
I think this is going to be a very impactful witness. Man, back at the public defender's office, they never paid $1,600 an hour for a witness like this or an expert like this. But when you have the money, obviously, you always take advantage of it as a defense attorney. I think the graphs obviously are not exactly what the common folk would look at every day. But the fact that he testified that in the initial block that it's pretty much impossible to use your index finger to squeeze a trigger, like the prosecution said, that was their theory of the case. I think that was impactful. I'm really interested to see the cross-examination of this witness by the prosecution, because they have to, because this is kind of a little embarrassing for them, because the whole theory of the case was basically, this expert just basically got on and in very polite terms said, everything the prosecution said happened couldn't have physically happened. And I'm just looking at physics here, guys. I'm not just giving you my opinion. I'm looking at physics. And physics tells you that everything that the prosecution spent a week telling you could not have happened. That's basically what he's saying. That's how I would interpret it. So I'm really interested to see the cross-examination here. It's going to be vicious.
Can we talk about that dynamic, Michael? Because we're talking about physics, biomechanics. This is a witness that's got 2 engineering degrees, 2 degrees in kinesiology. I mean, he's got the credentials to back this up. The science of violence is also part of his expertise. And I'm remembering another trial that we covered a year ago, the Gwyneth Paltrow ski trial. That was a civil trial, but they brought in a biomechanics engineer type expert. And I remember that was a defense verdict on behalf of Paltrow, so they believed that expert. And the jury foreman said it was about the physics. He showed us the physics, so it wasn't possible to be some other way. I mean, it's just a theory, right? But is there something about hearing that it's physics that someone may say, well, it's scientific, it's black and white?
Yeah, we all grow up seeing astronauts land on the moon. We're all trained to see that the word physics, because I'm not smart enough to understand physics. I failed my physics class. So if I was on a jury and some boring guy came out and told me, well, this is physics, young man, I'd say, well, I'm an idiot. You say it's physics. I got to trust you. So even I fell into the whole thing of, oh, wow, I can't wait to see how the prosecution gets on. Because I can tell you the prosecutor doesn't understand physics. They're just like the rest of us. They don't understand physics, right? So I'm really interested in seeing, hey, this man got up here and called me an idiot in a very polite way and said, this is just physics. He couldn't have possibly done this. Physically, it's not possible. It's like gravity, right? So I really want to see what this. I hope we covered this on the next block. I hope we can see the prosecution's cross-examination, and if not, I'm going to stay on and watch.
It's certainly fascinating how it's all going to unfold.
And I don't know. Maybe these prosecutors do know physics. We don't know.
Well, we'll see. This is a very experienced expert that they have.
Yeah, well, to me, he is making sense. And you know what? To Michael Jafar's point, we're going to fit in a quick break here. But coming up, you know, we do have that cross-examination still ahead. So you're going to want to stick with us. You're watching Court TV.